Well, hello and welcome everyone to Porsche Cup Challenge. Oh, I gotta turn that down. Hello and welcome to Porsche Cup Challenge. We got our Thursday night North American division going on right here. They're just in there qualifying right now. Uh, we do open qualifying. You get 4 laps to set your best time. I have to turn down iRacing a little bit. That's too loud for me. Sorry about that. Um, as I was saying, this is we get 15 minutes. It's open qualifying. You have 4 laps that you can do. You get to choose when. You get to choose when you do it. You can do it early. You can do it late. As you can see right here, Simon Fell went out a little bit late, and it gives a lot more, definitely a lot more free air to do it last. And that's the method that Simon Fell went with. As you can see, Ariel and Charlie, they were out there together. You can see they have very close times. It's definitely going to be a hell of a battle. We got Ariel, Charlie, Mark Lampert, Young Choi, all very strong drivers up at that front pack. We have Carl Ribbing, who won our last week's race at Watkins Glen. That was one exciting race. A lot happened. This is definitely a very different track we've got here in Nurburgring. I would call this definitely more on a skill track. Watkins Glen last week was a much more of a chess match, and so we may see a little bit more gaps from one driver to the next, but with the skill track also comes a very high chance of spinning or making a mistake. So we're gonna have to see if any of that happens tonight and see how that goes. Right now we're just following along with Simon Fell doing his laps. And you can see it's quite a challenging track with the decreasing radius, some awkward bumps, especially that chicane. Uh, I did a few laps on this track, and let me tell you, it's not easy to be consistent at all. Very difficult track. Even though they cut out with this short layout, even though they cut out a whole bunch of it, it's still not easy. Shout out to Ariel Julian, who's got looks like a buddy Bad Sorry from on Twitch watching, cheering for the win. But yeah. We've got 20 seconds left. Yeah, and there's the chicane, the chicane that everybody's been hating on all week right there. You just got to see why. You miss the breaking point and then you lose a lot of time. You can be down a second, you can lose a position, you can lose many positions, or you can lose the race. And yeah, that's the pain in the ass chicane. Sorry about that. Okay, let's pull up our grid. Uh, Here we go. Here's our grid. We have only 9 drivers tonight, unfortunately. I guess a few people got sick, went out for the last chance they can in the warm weather, all the things. I'm sure we'll have more drivers the week after. I know that we have our season champion, Michael Haunick, is actually sick, and a few others similar. Anyways, we've got Ariel Julian, Charlie Pouyer, Mark Lampert, Young Choi, Carl Ribbing, Benjamin Roche, Michael David, Simon Fell, Gary Watson is our grid. We want to go to this. I want to bring up a track map. Perfect. And let's take a look at all these cars. I've always loved that Monster Energy car. Always loved it. So right now we're just waiting for all of the cars to grid. Once they all grid, we're gonna see the lights go on, or at least they should, yep. Here we go. Cars are revving up, and away we go. Green light, and it looks like they're all heading towards turn one. Everyone got a really good launch. We got a few 3 wide. Is that 4 wide? Oh man. Looks like Ariel has lost that lead. Charlie is snuck up on the inside and is starting to try and break away. And we have a whole bunch of action going on directly behind him. Looks like Mark Lampert, Carl Ribbing, Young Choi all battling away. Young Choi going real wide, losing 2 positions there. Just all of this great aggressive driving going on. Oh, and there is a spin from Michael David, unfortunately. And just a real quick look at the leader of our race after half a lap. We got plenty of laps to go still, of course. But Charlie has stuck his nose in and now in a real great spot with Mark Lampert also behind. Heading into the first lap of this chicane, let's see how this goes. This is going to be my prediction, the place that most of these drivers are going to make or break their race. Lose it, spin it, whatever, all right in that spot. Charlie with the fastest lap of our race so far. Um, Oh, and does Ariel try and make a move to the inside? No, he's not able to make it stick. Charlie is still in that lead. And now let's see if locking that tire is going to hurt Ariel. Oh, something has happened to Young Choi. That must have been a slowdown. And not a pretty one, let me tell you. Okay, back right up to the front. We've got Mark Lampert is directly behind Ariel. So maybe there's no racing sound at all. Okay, let me turn that up. You gotta hear some cars. Okay, how's that? If that's better, let me know. And here we go. We're heading into the chicane with still weak. Okay, interesting. I'll just do this. That should be a little bit louder. The racing sound won't be too loud in general, but anyways, back to the battle. This and what really matters. We got a three car battle for the lead. It looks like Ariel, Charlie Poulier, Ariel, Julian, and Mark Lampert, and none of them are laying up at all. They're all putting in the heat. This is quite an intense battle. It looks like Young Choi's entered the pit lane. I don't know why, but he's gone off. Anyways, so and now we've got these 3 cars. And they're all just absolutely bumper to bumper. You could throw a blanket over these cars and cover all of them. That's how close these guys are. One little slip up from Charlie, Ariel, or Mark, and it's going to be a game changer, that's for sure. Ariel taking very different lines than Charlie. He must be trying to defend off of Mark, and you know what? Here comes Mark right up the bumper of Ariel, and he's gonna try and go around the outside. Oh no, he's not. He's gonna back out and think about it for later. It's definitely a very difficult place to pass at this chicane. Very high risk, but it's definitely possible. What I'm curious to see is if this battling between Ariel and Mark, is it going to let Charlie start walking away? So right now we've got the longest straight in our race. Ariel's throwing that defensive line and not letting Mark get up that inside. And is this the over-under? Oh, no, not quite. Gotta keep trying. And that's exactly what I can see happening, actually, is Charlie's given a lot of breathing room with this battle with Mark, almost as if these guys are teammates. Mark just being right up the bumper of Ariel is, it's, oh, and here we go. Yep. It's putting a lot of pressure on Ariel Julian to defend. But of course, this car does have a little bit of draft, and with that little bit of draft, you can always get up back up to that car if you make a few mistakes. Not a lot of draft, but enough to really help you. Here we go, heading into the heavy, heavy, heavy braking zone, a little bit uphill. The car compresses, and then you take these little curb jumps and you head out onto the last corner and then onto the main straight where the start finish line is. These guys have all so far been playing nice with each other, really. I want to see when the gloves come off. And here we go. Does Ariel go for the inside? No, and he does. He does go for the inside dive. And it slows him down too much so that now he's now up for Mark Lampert wasn't able to actually take advantage of that, but it put Charlie back ahead. It definitely didn't help. It was a real good attempt, but wasn't able to actually make it stick. I can't wait to see what happens next lap. This is getting real spicy. And with this battling, it's now brought Carl Ribbing just slightly back into the mix. And Carl Ribbing is in a perfect spot to gain a little bit of draft going down this straight into that chicane, gain a little bit of time back up to this pack, and just start praying that they battle. And, oh, sorry about that. Just praying that they battle because it'll let him come into the mix and start thinking about a podium position. Here we go, coming on to our final straight of the lap. I don't think Julian's going to be close enough to make a move this time. So for now, we're going to start walking around, taking a look at a few other cars. And I want to pull up the biggest movers and shakers of our evening so far. And it looks like we've got Young Choi is down a lot of positions, so he's definitely going to want to make that up come the feature race, which is our 30-minute race. We've got Gary Watson up 3 positions from down under, of course, down in Australia. Gary up 3. Simon fell up 1 position. Benjamin Roche, who we're following along with right now from the northern central part of Ontario, Canada, up 1 position. Carl Ribbing up 1 position. Mark Lampert just exactly where he started. And of course, Charlie up 1 and Ariel down 1. So Gary Watson is not far behind at all from Benjamin Roche, and directly behind Gary is Simon. So let's bring back up our intervals. And it looks like Simon is gaining slightly on Gary. And of course, we had the 2 guys. I think Young Choi had something happen with his car. He went into the pits. I'm not sure. Michael David, of course, we saw spin. And that's the reason that they're quite far behind. And also these leaders are just, oh, and here we go. Ariel did go for that dive. He tried that dive once again. And Charlie's able to fight him off. He gave that inside to him. But, oh, and here we go. Does Mark Lampert try and go around the outside? Not quite. I looked away too long, and then as soon as I looked away too long, it got real spicy. These 2 are really battling. You know, Ariel wants this position real bad to be in first position. And of course, whoever wins our, oh no! Oh no! That's bad news. That's the bad news bear for Ariel Julian. Trying real hard to get by and just unfortunately lost control. A little bit of a racing incident, and away these guys go. And now the battle is between Charlie Puyer and Mark Lampert. Benjamin Roche now up into third position, especially with Carl Ribbing having that unfortunate contact. So bad, sorry, the Twitch user. I guess better luck next time for your buddy here. um, but yeah, and here we see Carl Ribbing. He must have a meatball flag, or else he wouldn't be coming into the pits right now. Which brings Simon Fell up another position, Michael David up another position, and Ariel is now at the very back, it looks like. Benjamin Roche now in the highest position he's been in all season. I'm sure he'll be really, really ecstatic about that. And that takes a lot of stress off of Charlie to have only one car following, and it puts the ball definitely into Mark Lampert's court to have less cars in front of him in this battle. We got 3.5 minutes to go. 3.5 minutes to go, and then our last lap will get triggered right around the end of our 15-minute session time. And those guys are behaving really well. And here we go. Simon Fell is catching on Gary Watson. So any time now, and this is very, very likely to become a battle. Let's see if Simon can get this chicane correct. And it looks like he does, and is in a great spot to get a nice, nice draft down this straight. Close that gap. Oh, and something happened. I'm sure. Well, luckily he's got that draft to help him out, so we'll head right back up to where the excitement is, of course, with Charlie Puyer and Mark Lampert. I know Charlie won a race or two in the official races this week. He's in a race with another league member, Misha Berger, and Misha spun, giving the free win, essentially, to Charlie Puyer. So Charlie's had a very, very strong week at this track. So I totally expected him to be exactly where he is, right up near that front. And it looks like Mark Lampert also has a new paint scheme on his car. I don't think I've seen that one before. Mark Lampert was, I guess, on vacation. He is off many, many, many weeks. And so it's real good to see a strong driver such as Mark Lampert come back onto our grid. Definitely missed him. Here we go, going down this main straight right now. Is Mark gonna close that gap? Is this enough? Is he close enough? And not quite. He's just gonna close that gap in the braking zone and maybe think about it next lap. This might be our final lap. It might not be. And that turn one is, I gotta tell you, it's a tricky one. As you can see right there, there's that giant dip mid corner right at the apex, and it's very, very easy to lose it. And one little mistake, just as saying earlier, this is definitely a skill track, and the tiniest little difference from one driver to another is going to create a gap of sometimes 1 second per lap, or half a second. Even half a second is quite a large gap to create lap after lap. Or one mistake, all of a sudden you have a 2-second gap. It's extremely, extremely challenging. Here we've got Simon Fell, and it looks like directly, oh, that's not Simon Fell, that's Ariel Julian behind, but he's lap down. So we've got Gary Watson and Simon Fell battling out for P4. Is this our final lap? Let's take a look at the leader. Is he going to cross that line in time, or is he going to cross that line and make one more lap? It looks like it's going to be one more lap of racing. And here we go. We got one more lap of racing. We got 11 laps, and that will be our sprint race. Looks like Simon fell. Looks like Gary Watson's definitely got that last corner. A huge strength on Simon fell on that last corner, and it's kept Gary much further ahead and taken away any passing opportunity Simon may have had by having a very strong final corner there. So good job on that, Gary. Keep it up. Looking good out there, buddy. So if, of course, we're on our last lap, and it's gonna mean Mark has one last chance to try and make a pass. He's got to set this up just right to coming down this main straight into the chicane. And he's got an opportunity maybe to force it too wide, maybe not if he can't get up there. It's not looking good so far. Charlie's trying to break that draft just a little bit. Heavy braking zone. You can see the cars compressing that nose dives right down into that ground. And away we go in towards our last corner. Charlie is still ahead. And it's definitely looking like this race, it will be Charlie Pouyer. Here we go, unless he blows an engine, blows a tire. I don't know, but and there we go. Congratulations, Charlie Pouyer, for winning our sprint race, our 15-minute sprint race. You'll now be P1 into into the feature. Congratulations, Benjamin Roche, for rounding out that podium, getting a P3, first of the season. Good job, Gary Watson, for P4. Simon Fell in P5. Michael David coming around in P6. And not too far behind, maybe a little bit too far behind, will be Carl Ribbing, who had that unfortunate, and that's the spin, the challenge of this track, the spins that happen all around that chicane for Young Choi. But here we go with Carl Ribbing coming around, um, hoping, I'm sure, to make up a lot of positions in that next race. But yeah, and of course, is everyone finished? I think we might be waiting for Young Choi. Yeah, as soon as Young Choi crosses, we can bring up our results of Heat 1. And what you gotta remember that's so super important about the results of our sprint race of 15 minutes is this sets your gridding for our feature race. So you gain 20 points for winning the sprint race. You gain 40 points, double the points, for winning our feature race. So if you can position yourself into a front grid position for our 30-minute feature, you're going to have a much easier time trying to win that race. And of course, you also gain more points for being up at the front for the sprint race as well. So it's a double whammy for your points in the season. And so that's the challenge that we've set up for all of our drivers that wish to partake. And next season, of course, we're going to have lots of new updates. We're going to have a lot of great tracks coming at us. And we're going to be doing a reverse grid of either our top 4 or top 5. We have to finalize that. But the most important part is we're going to be doing a pro and an amateur divisions within our races. So if you're our top half of our field, you'll be in the pro, and if you're in the bottom half, you're going to be in the amateur. And on top of that, even though you're in the amateur class, you'll still have an opportunity to actually win a cash prize. So that's going to be really exciting for our next season. Looks like the cars are starting to grid, so let's pull that up. Wow, and they're already lighting up those engine cylinders. And here we go. I want to see how does this go for. Oh, it looks like Carl Ribbing is in the pit. Something's happened to Carl Ribbing. Anyways, we got Charlie Pouyer away with Mark Lampert directly on the inside. Ariel's already made up a lot of positions and is into third position. It's looking like going too wide around with Benjamin Roche. And no, and there goes Charlie Pouyer, has spun and given the lead to Mark Lampert. And there goes Benjamin Roche. And this is a 30-minute race here, folks. So they have some chance to recover what they've lost, but that is huge, and there is now a lot of cars in the way for Charlie Pouyer if he wants to get back up to where he started. Fortunately for Ariel Julian, he's made a lot of aggressive moves, and he's in a great spot to start thinking about getting closer and closer to Mark Lampert over the next 29 minutes. But Mark Lampert is definitely exactly where he wanted to be right now. Very clear up in the lead. Here we go. We've got Gary Watson and Young Choi heading too wide into the chicane. Does he give it up? He does give. He concedes the position and decides just to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. And now heading into our start finish line. And I'm just looking real quickly at our intervals times. And it looks like Mark Lampert setting down a hell of a lap time and actually gapping Ariel Julian just slightly. Does Charlie go for the inside on Michael David? He does, and he snags that position. So that's up one position from after that spin. And now this is a man on a mission. Oh, and there is a spin from Young Choi. We saw a spin from, oh, and there's Carl Ribbon going around. I guess he decided to pit start. He didn't trust the whole turn one shenanigans. And there we go. It looked like Charlie Pouyer went off the track, and he's back down one more position. This is exciting and terrifying all at the same time. Oh no. Oh no. Did Mark Lampert spin? I think Mark Lampert did spin. We're going to have to watch that replay. He's given up the lead by making a large mistake. Charlie Pouyer is going up the inside into the chicane, taking back that position. And now we have quite a hell of a battle with Mark Lampert. Does he dive for the inside on Benjamin Roche? He does, dude. He goes for that dive, and he's gained one position, but back 5, I believe. Well, back a lot of positions. He's back to 6th position. That's not the greatest for Mark Lampert, but he's got a long way to go, a long time to go in this race. So some positions could be lost and regained, and there goes, unfortunately, Young Choi off the track again. He's having a night he wants to forget. I'm sure about that one. So let's take a look really quick while we still can. How did Mark Lampert lose? Just a little bit too much throttle. He goosed it and he just went off, and that is exactly how Ariel Julian got the lead of the race. Oh, this is absolutely wild. This is juicy. We're gonna have a 3. Is this gonna be a 3 wide? These guys are battling it out. Every single corner matters. Oh, and Mark Lampert definitely got the best of that one, getting by. And here we go, Mark Lampert getting away. Charlie Pouyer, does he gain the overlap? No, he doesn't gain the overlap to make a safe pass on Michael David. So he waited it out and now is taking that position on the next turn. And so is Carl Ribbing. He's taking advantage of that wide open door. And Mark Lampert, of course, is in the wall. All for nothing for Mark Lampert tonight, it seems like. And he spun once again. There's just so much happening, and I want to take a look at some replays.
Sorry, Charlie.
Something happened there. Michael David is... there's just so much happening. I can't believe everything that's happening. This is absolutely wild. Ariel's in front because Mark Lampert spun. If you were wondering, when you stepped away. And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 car battle for 5th position. Ariel's definitely benefited from a lot of luck, I gotta say, in this race. He made some aggressive moves to get right back up into the thick of it on the first few turns, and it's definitely paid off, especially with Mark Lampert spinning, spinning, and then spinning once again, and Young Choi spinning and spinning and spinning a lot as well. Somehow they're all still right back together, even after all of those spins. So that's actually, I'm not sure if that's impressive or if that's horrible. Well, what I'm happy for though is at least they've all got someone there to race with. That part warms my heart. It looks like Charlie Puyer, with his pace, has broken away slightly from all of that chaos that is behind him, and is gonna start thinking about putting his head down, getting up to Gary Watson, and see if he can make that pass cleanly, and we'll have to follow along with that story as that develops. Right now, I just don't want to take my eyes off of these two, of these two drivers, Benjamin Roche, Young Choi. They are closer than ever. Does either of them have damage? Benjamin Roche goes wide under braking. Of course, that's a really hard turn to get right under braking, and that's given one position for Young Choi. That the elevation changes throw you off definitely, and that's exactly what happens. I want to do a quick look at how did I want to take a quick look at, oh, and there we go. It looks like Young Choi got a slowdown, so that position gained is also now a position lost. So that's going to be a hell of a slowdown for him. And that's going to put him into a very, very interesting situation with Mark Lampert directly behind, albeit with a damaged car. Oh, it looked like Young Choi almost lost it one more time. Able to save it on this time round, though. Trying to find, I want to see how some of this chaos happened. I have it marked. Yeah, okay. I'm going to bring up the replay real soon. And there goes Mark Lampert once again. And there goes Benjamin Roche. I don't think that's Benjamin Roche's favorite turn by any means. He blocked his brakes there 2 laps in a row, and that's just really, really unfortunate. It looks like Charlie Puyer has caught up to Gary Watson, so let's see how this goes. Does he try and take him now? It looks like he's going to hold off. As you can see, the compression of these cars in that braking zone. Carl Ribbing is directly behind as well, benefiting off the draft of Charlie Puyer the whole way along. Charlie, of course, going for the exit out of that corner, but is it enough on Gary Watson? We're going to find out in about 10 seconds. But of course, Carl Ribbing directly behind, one tough customer as well. It's going to add a lot of spice into this battle. I'll tell you that much. Is this the over-under? No, it looks like Gary Watson blocks it off on the exit, not allowing Charlie to do that. Great defensive driving from Gary Watson, as we're seeing right now from the Monster Energy car of number 64. Charlie's just looking for any way that he can get through. And is he going to do it? He's going to get, oh, and here he goes. Of course, the shortest distance is always going to be best, and here we go. Charlie Puyer has made it around, but he's a little bit on the grass, and that's not going to go too well for him. Luckily, Gary Watson wasn't able to make up a position from Charlie's mistake. But now we have Carl Ribbing, who's thinking about how he can get through. Once this battle is done, Once this battle is done, there's a replay I wanted to check out of how that 5 or 6 car chaos that we had earlier started. It looks like Carl Ribbon gets an amazing exit out of this corner, which is going to put him into a great position to make a pass or try to make a pass on Gary Watson heading into turn 1 if he's willing to take that risk. Gary Watson throwing the defensive line, not making it easy for Carl Ribbing at all. And taking all of that track on exit, it's definitely slowing them down and letting Charlie Pouyer break away. But fight for every position. Don't let them have it easy. Looks like Gary's being caught in the same... Is he? No, and he doesn't go for it. Almost getting caught on the same piece of track as he did with Charlie Pouyer. But not quite. Carl Ribbing not able to take advantage of that. And now we have Young Choi coming into the mix directly behind them, and it's actually becoming a 3-car battle once again. Here we go, going down our back straight. Carl may be close enough to make a move, maybe not. It looks like he's choosing to back out and just keep it safe. This is a really, really dangerous place to pass. Definitely a great place to pass, but a very dangerous place as well. Lining up for a really strong exit. Looks like Carl is closer than he's ever been, and he's definitely gonna go for the pass. I can feel it. Gary Watson throwing the inside defensive line, wanting Carl to go around the outside, and is he gonna make it happen? It looks like Carl going a little too wide. Oh, and he's still up the inside, and he has gained that position, and Gary Watson has closed the door on Young Choi. And that's an unfortunate turn of events. A slight contact, and that spun Gary Watson. And that's also damaged Young Choi's car. So now that I have a moment, I want to take a look at this replay. Where is it? Here we go. Here's the craziness and when it started. So we saw that. And then this headed into here. And then I think it's, nope. Yep, here it is. Here's what I wanted to see. That was Mark taking the inside on Charlie. Very, very brave move and made it work. And yeah, it was just all of the chaos that was happening. Okay, back to being live. Let's see what's actually happening in the race instead of what has happened in our race. Looks like we got Young Choi going down pit lane. He wants a proper car again. Oh, no, he's just serving a drive-through. He must have had enough incident points, off-track spins, and so on that he had 15x on his incident count, and it's put him into a drive-through position. We've got Ariel Julian up in the lead. Way in the lead, I gotta say. Simon fell in second position. We've got Charlie Pouyer up in third position after that really, really unfortunate spin. I gotta say, I was really rooting for you, Charlie, but you know what? Third's not that bad. We got Carl Ribbon up in fourth position. Got Michael David in fifth. Not far behind Gary Watson. Yeah, he has some slight damage. That's not really going to hurt him much at all. His wing looks great. Just a tiny little thing on the rear bumper from... Sorry about that. I unplugged my microphone for a quick second, unfortunately. But anyways, okay, back to the race. We got Gary Watson following along with Gary Watson and Michael Davis directly in front. These guys, I'm sure, are going to be in contact with each other. I think this is a new paint from Michael David. Don't think I've seen this one before. So we're going to have, in a matter of a few... Oh, there's a blink. We got a blinking car, folks. In a matter of a lap or two, we're going to have a few cars coming in very, very close contact with each other. The two cars here for second position of Simon Fell and Charlie Poulier. And of course, the other cars that we are following along there are Michael David and Gary Watson. I'm not going to follow along too much with Ariel Julian. He's so far ahead that that's... unless you like watching a car doing hot laps, then yeah, if that's your jam, go ahead. That's just a little boring for us at the moment. Let's take a quickie look at Benjamin Roche. Oh, and he's got some damage on his car, I believe from an earlier incident. And of course, we've got Young Choi with a lot of damage. And I think Mark Lampert has decided to just call it quits. He's spun enough times. He had the pace. He definitely had the race. He couldn't get the finish. Ha. So right back with, I'm gonna have to say this is like an army looking car, a camouflage car. I'm not even sure. Let me see if I can get a closer look on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's camouflage car. We could get a real far look. That's not quite as fun. Let's look real close. Let's see if we can see that driver turning that steering wheel. And coming around that final corner, Charlie's not getting the exit that he was hoping for. And we're going to see Simon Fell ahead for at least one more lap. Maybe a lot more laps. We're going to have to find out. What I'm hoping I can see out of this battle is these guys fighting it tooth and nail and bringing Carl Ribbing into the mix. Now that would get spicy. That'll get real spicy real quick. So Simon Fell, it looks like he's driving in his mirrors just a little bit. He's going off track, and Charlie, just by merely being real close, put that pressure on Simon Fell and got into his head and has made the pass from Simon Fell's mistakes. And it's exactly what I wanted to happen. Charlie Poulier, Simon Fell, Carl Ribbing, all in close contact with each other. And this is actually now becoming that three-car battle I was wishing for. Carl Ribbing, of course, getting closer and closer. That strong pace, he's kept his tires in check, and it's brought him right back up to where it really counts. And here we go, coming around that last turn, coming onto the main straight. Carl got a real great launch. He's getting closer and closer. Maybe not close enough. Heading into this braking zone, he's going to have to wait quite a bit more if he's for a few more corners, or make a move, or make him stressed out and to get ahead. Simon Fell looking like he's struggling with his tires. That car is dancing all over the place under him. So this is going to get real exciting real quick with Simon and Carl. this is one of the points of the race. This is 20 minutes into our race with the Porsche Cup Challenge car. Porsche Cup cars, they don't have ABS. They don't have traction control. They have a lot of power. So this is all driver. Every bit of this is all driver. And so that's part of the challenge of... And here we go as Simon. This is going to be too wide into the chicane. Heavy braking zone, locked a tire. A lot of locking of tires. And that's, you know, Carl Ribbing, I think, may have just given Simon that position from that mistake he made and said, hey, you know what, have that back. I want to try again and do this properly. What that's done, fortunately...
Sorry about that, Simon.
Yeah.
No worries.
Fortunately for Charlie, he's now broken away very, very clearly. And that, folks, is the league mentality at work right there. I gotta say, that is actually beautiful. It was horrendous and beautiful all at the same time. But I'm gonna say more beautiful than horrendous. Because that's what happens when you get two guys who both care about league driving standards, and that's what happens. For now, we're going to take a quick look at the battle that's starting to heat up between Michael, Dave, and Gary Watson. They've closed that gap. And as I was saying earlier, this car having no traction control, no ABS, managing those tires over the course of a race is going to yield real great results for any and all drivers of all paces. And part of how you can do that is just by keeping awareness of your brake bias, keeping it forward, backwards, somewhere in the middle, neutral, adjusting it on the fly as you feel the front tires letting go or the rear tires basically smoking up. It really helps to balance the tires and keep your pace up. There's very little pace lost when you can get the tires properly balanced. It's quite nice. Oh, and it looks like Simon Fell went real wide, and it's given Carl Ribbing the chance to get ahead. Or was there a slowdown? I don't know. Something happened under braking. And it's just given Carl Ribbing the opportunity to be on the podium, the potential podium for now. I don't think Simon Fell is going to give this position up too easy. Don't count on it. Simon Fell is a good driver, solid, consistent. But this is, at this point in the race, this is 23 minutes, 24 minutes in. This is a battle of the mind, having driven for this many minutes, and a battle of the management of your car, once again. So, looks like Gary Watson and Michael David are closer than ever. Michael David, it looks like he's throwing the outside defensive line. Oh, no, he's yielding the position just to be better safe than sorry, it's looking like. And he's going to follow along with Gary Watson. And he's just decided to take it easy and do it that way. I gotta say, in the future races, I'm excited for Michael David to start going too wide and forcing the situation. And gaining that pace as well. He's definitely improved and gained pace over the course of the season. And there's a tire getting locked. That's maybe not so good. But Michael David is definitely a very improved driver since when we first saw him in our league. He's finishing races and all the good things, and it's not easy in this car, as you can see. Really, it's pretty easy to lock a tire, smoke a tire under braking, and every time you do that, it's gonna hurt you. Gary Watson up to 5th position. It looks like Simon Fell is not able to hold pace, and given Carl Ribbon um, that that space that he was looking for. So we're gonna take a look at Ariel Julian. Let's see if we go along with the chopper. Get to the chopper. Let's see how his lines are. I mean, that's looking pretty good. He's using all of the track on exit, all of the track on entrance, and that is exactly what's brought him up into the lead and this far ahead. Charlie Puyer, of course, 21 seconds back from Ariel. Ariel is just in a happy place right now, trying to keep that gap nice and high and focus on not spinning. Don't push so hard that you start spinning. Um, you know, try not to focus on what Mark Lampert did. But here's that chicane, taking both curves like a pro. Heading into that final corner, getting that maximum rotation so that you can point the car down that straight, full throttle as soon as possible, and away he goes for one more lap. We're going to follow along heading into turn one because there you go, the elevation change, and then there's that dip that's gotten a lot of people confused, including myself, of how to do it. This car doesn't take that dip as well as what I'm used to in the Skippy, so it's definitely quite a track, this track. And I could have swore that this is just a replay of the lap before because every bit of every motion, everything, but from Ariel Julian is just the exact same. This guy copycat lap after lap. So let's take a quickie look at Charlie Puyer and see how he's doing. Charlie's now heading on to that back straight. We got 2 minutes left in our race. It looks like Young Choi and Mark Lampert have decided to call it quits for the evening. Just, too many spins, I guess. Want to see where Benjamin Roche is. Oh, it looks like his car's fixed. So he did opt to go into the pits to take that fast. Oh, no, his car's not fixed. His car is not fixed. Actually, I got the replay of the last moment of Young Choi. So let's see, what was the crash that ended his race? Uh, that might have been a DQ, actually. And then, wait, oh no, I want to go back to live. So Michael David is not letting Gary Watson get too far away from him. These two drivers seem to be evenly matched, or very closely matched, I should say. Oh, and where is Ariel Julian? We gotta see. One more lap to go. Okay, perfect. Good to know. So with one more lap to go, this is going to be a 21 lap race. So that means these guys here have to cross that start finish line, then do one more lap. You can see on our track map, we got AJ, Ariel Julian, coming around those first few corners all alone. But we're following along with Michael Dave and Gary Watson because these two are real close. We're gonna follow along for with AJ. I'm gonna call him AJ for now. Once he gets closer to start finish line, just to watch that. I need to get closer to these cars. And this is very interesting to see. It looks like Gary Watson and Michael David. Well, looks like Gary Watson and Michael David both have different parts of the track that are their strengths. And so that's definitely led to some interesting situations for them. It looks, and Michael David going wide. Okay, jumping right up to our leader. He's coming around the final turn right now. And this is of course, start at the back and win the race. Good job, Ariel Julin. Congratulations for winning our feature race from the back. Good job. We've got Charlie Pouyer coming around, taking that painful chicane for one last time, rotating that car for that final turn, coming out, hitting the power down all the way, coming across our start finish line in second position. So he's down one position, but broken heart as far as I'm concerned. Carl Ribbon coming around in P3, up 4 positions. We got Simon Fell coming around in P4, up 1 position. Gary Watson coming around right now. He's down 1 position, but that's consistent drive from Gary Watson. Michael David directly behind, exactly where he started. Benjamin Roche coming along. He's going to have to hit that painful chicane one last time. And it looks like he's the last person to finish the race. And that is a real trooper of a driver right there to continue on, carry on. It felt like you want to quit, but not. We don't like quitters around here, and that's why we like Benjamin Roche. There we go, Benjamin Roche coming around in P7. And let's pull up our results. Beauty of a burnout in the background, I gotta say. So winner of our race, Ariel Julin, congratulations once again. Charlie Pouyer in P2, Carl Ribbing in P3. Those are our 3 podium finishers. Podium finishers gain a lot more points in our season standings than the rest of the field. So congratulations, guys. Simon Fell for P4, Gary Watson in P5, Michael David P6, Benjamin Roche P7, Young Choi P9, P8, sorry, and Mark Lampert in P9. Well, and there you have it. That is our Week 10 North American Division Nurburgring. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did actually enjoy this, please subscribe. And if you have an Amazon Prime linked to your Twitch, please use your free subscription to subscribe to our channel. I should say follow our channel. And if you like it, if you're a part of the league, if you want to support what we're doing here and putting on this great show, then yeah, please use your Amazon Prime to subscribe to our channel and support our league. And yeah, hope you all enjoy and thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone.